Hi Scorpio, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your March 2022 love reading. Thanks to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridging the gap spread. And the way it works is a look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. Once we get through all that, we pull some more cards with some additional insights. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. As far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lotus Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Tarot Sexual Magic, and also keep in mind it's a general reading. So I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so if all out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Ace of Staves, which is the Ace of Wands in traditional tarot, and Tradition, which is the Hierophant in traditional tarot, so Taurus energy there. Seeing these two cards come up together, primarily what I'm getting from this could just be saying that you might have felt a really passionate draw toward this person on a more physical level, but also at the same time I feel like you also might have really immediately started to see yourself having the potential for a long-term commitment with this person. You know, so one of those like love at first sight types of dynamics, but I feel like the passion was definitely heavy at the very least. And with Tradition coming up here, I always point out when this card comes up in this deck anyway, we see the Romeo and Juliet name, so there could have been something about it that might have been forbidden. So for example, maybe one of you might have been involved in another connection at the time. But here what I'm getting more so is I feel like the two of you might have been working together, and that might have been where the complexity came into play there. For example, your job might have frowned upon that type of connection within the work environment, so that could have been one of the things that might have been keeping you guys apart. But yeah, that's what I see with that. Alright, past energy on their side, we have the Queen of Wands, so this is Aries energy here, and obviously we could see a lot of passion behind that with the fiery energy, and also this is one of the reasons why I say for some of you might have been that the two of you might have been working together, and that could have been the layer that added some complexity to the connection. Because for you guys, Aries is your sixth house that could represent work sometimes. So yeah, but either way, it definitely looks like there was a lot of passion between the two of you. Now, at least in the past, it looks like you might have been the ones who were a little bit further ahead as far as looking to a future within the connection, where with this person, they might have just been more focused on the passion. Alright, present energy on your side, we have Fertility. So this is the equivalent of the Empress in traditional tarot. And I will say, you know, you guys do have Jupiter in your fifth house, so definitely be on the lookout for the potential for conception this month, if that's not something that you're looking for, especially given all the passion energy we see in the past, right? If that's not something that you're looking to do, just be on the lookout for that. Now, for some of you, might even be where you might have already engaged that, and in the present, you might be finding out that you could already be pregnant. If we look at the artwork here, it looks like she's already pregnant. But I don't necessarily get that for the majority of you. In fact, it could just be saying that the passion might come back up to the surface for you guys. At the time of recording this, we're still pretty much under that Leo full moon energy, and I see that line there. So it could just be one of those things where you might really feel that passion between the two of you again. But yeah, if nothing else, this still shows to me that you guys still have those feelings for this person, but this could just be saying that maybe you're a little less proactive toward trying to pursue a connection with them at this time. Maybe just a little bit open to see where things go. Alright, in the present position on their side, we have the Queen of Chalices. So this is Cancer energy here, and this could be another indicator of motherhood, potentially. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for the potential pregnancies this month. But yeah, at the very least, this does show that they're opening up a bit more toward the emotional side of the connection too, right? Because like we said in the past, we just saw passion on both sides, but you also had that additional layer with the Tradition. So here you're in that Empress energy, and now we see them in the Queen of Chalices energy, so it could just be saying that the emotional side of the connection could be growing a bit between the two of you now as well. Alright, future energy on your side, we have the Queen of Arrows. So this is actually Libra energy here, and we even see the name Venus on the card. So again, I'm getting a lot more of that receptive energy from you guys. So for some of you in the past, you might have been a lot more proactive toward getting the connection off the ground. And now I'm starting to see where the attraction's still there, but now you might be taking a bit more of a passive role to see what they're going to do, right? In fact, it could even be one of those things where you might feel like they're a step behind you in some way, right? So you might have realized that, all right, you know what, in the past, I was already seeing this big vision for the connection, whereas this person was just wrapped up in a passion. Okay, maybe now their passion's growing, but, let's say the Queen of Chalices versus Empress energy, right? That's still a step ahead. And now we have the Queen of Arrows, and you're like, okay, maybe I'm just moving a little bit faster in the connection. Let me tone it down a little bit and see what they do, right? So I feel like you could be coming into that energy. All right. And future energy on their side, we have the Knave of Wands. So this is actually the equivalent to the Page of Wands. So if nothing else, if you were already getting that feeling, right, that you're a step ahead of them when it comes to this connection, this could just really kind of emphasize that, right? Because we almost see a reduction here. The passion has remained, but it looks like as far as we started with Queen energy, now we're down to Page energy. So it could just be one of those things where you might be evaluating, okay, yes, the passion is serious, but can I actually expect a lot from this person within an actual committed relationship, right? So that could be where you might be seeing some of the limitations with the connection with this person. All right, and bottom of the deck on your side, we have Judgment. So actually, you usually view this as Scorpio energy here too. But yeah, for some of you, this could just be saying that maybe this is a second chance at this connection too. So let's just say in the past, maybe you guys felt the passion for each other, but again, like I said, if you guys were working together at the time, maybe that was a hurdle that would have needed to be cleared. Or if one of you was in another connection at the time, right, that could have been another dynamic. So this coming up here could just be saying that whatever that hurdle is, maybe that's cleared for the two of you. And that could even be why we're seeing some progression taking place in the connection now. But yeah, with this coming up at the bottom of the deck too, could just be saying that possibly during all those retrograde energies we were dealing with, that could have been when this person came back around to your lives. All right, and bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Wheel. So this is the equivalent of the Wheel of Fortune in traditional tarot, which points to Jupiter energy, which, like I said, that is in your fifth house. So it could just be one of those things on one hand saying that during Pisces season, that's where you guys are going to see movement in this connection. As far as you, given that we do see multiple people on the card as well, could just be saying that this could be the phase that this person might be in, right? Where maybe they're just a bit non-committal compared to you. And again, that could be why you're being a bit more passive and observing them too, to see like, okay, can I take this person seriously, or are they just out there exploring their options, right? What's the deal? So that could just be what you're doing now, observing them, and then beneath that we do see the Knight of Wands energy too, which can have the reputation sometimes of being a bit non-committal as well. So that's what I see with that. Let's see. So next we'll see what we get from the Agamo Knight Oracle deck here. I did pre-shuffle this deck, and what I'm going to be looking for here is unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while, already got one on your side. Never mind. I was going to say if I shuffle without anything coming up, I'll pull a card, but that one came up right away. So let's see if we get any from them to you now. All right, and that does want to go back in the deck. So let's see what we got on your side first. Okay, we have finances. Oh, there we go. It says I'm busy with work right now and it requires my attention. All right, well, yeah, I mean, I didn't necessarily see you having a heavy focus on work. Like I said, it does seem like you are withdrawing to an extent, though. But the main energy I was getting from that was you were withdrawing a bit to observe to see how they were going to react toward you, because you might have felt like in the beginning you were doing the most of the pursuing within the connection. But yeah, I suppose that's possible for some of you too. Maybe even at what that Empress energy points to, that you guys are more focused on your finances. But yeah, for the majority of you, I feel like that's not necessarily going to be what the majority of you are going through. And on their side, we have baggage. It says, I'm sweeping away toxicity to make room for what's truly important. So I mean, definitely a positive message there as far as, like I said, for some of you, you might have felt like in the beginning you were definitely more commitment oriented than this person was, and that might have been why you started to take a more passive role to see, like, okay, if I stop putting in the work, what are they going to do in return, right? So that could have been one of the approaches that you guys took. Um, so on the one hand, this is definitely a good thing to see. That does show that, okay, they are actually trying to make progress there. But the only thing that I would be a little bit iffy about is the fact that we see them go down to a page energy in the future, right? So it makes me wonder if you're always going to have to be there in that role for them to put in the effort, you know what I mean? Or could they actually do it on their own without you kind of being in a more active role in the connection? So it's the only thing I look out for. But at the very least, I would say that they have positive intentions, right? That they are making an effort in that regard. So hopefully that resonates with you. And lastly, see what we get from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this deck as well, but here I'm just looking for one card with general advice for us to wrap up with. Oh, got one there. Okay. So, okay, we have message in a bottle. There's the artwork. There we go. And the number is 15. So let's see what it says. Okay, it says communication, a sign, a Clayton, pointing the way to your highest good. The Oracle's message. Spirit sends you signs when you ask for them, when you believe you will receive them, and when you allow yourself to become fluent in the language of symbols, oracles, and omens. They may come to you as a bird flying by, a logo on the truck, and a song on the radio. Expect confirmation that you're pointed in the right direction. Keep your ears open, for someone might just say the right thing that will give you the answer to your query. Today, your message is this. Spirit hears you, and the reply is favorable. So, pretty positive message there. And that could just be what we were talking about as well, where we were talking about you guys taking a bit more of a passive role to observe what they're going to do. So, if we look at it through that lens with this message incorporated too, the page energy in that regard could just be saying that it's not so much a drop back in the maturity level of them, but more just pointing to them being more proactive, right? Where the queens could be a bit more passive. So that's how that could be coming across. All right, the relationship message says you can expect someone to favor you with positive news. This could be in the form of a letter, phone call, or email. You are the intended receiver of this message, so stay open to what you learn. Only good will come of it in the end. The signs are all there. So pretty positive message there as well. So yeah, like I said, at the very least, it looks like this person will try to put in an effort. I do see a genuine energy from them in that regard. But yeah, like I said, as far as them saying the sweeping away toxicity thing, right? I feel like for some of you might still wonder, okay, are they on the same maturity level as you? But it does look like there will be effort on their part at the very least. So hopefully that resonated. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.